In this video, I'm going to show you an in-play football betting system that most people aren't aware even exists. This is the slow card system, which is a unique way of betting on the over or under for cards in football. We'll go through this step by step, including how to find the right matches, what to look for in the first 20 minutes, and how to take advantage of inflated prices. Now, before we get into the actual steps, we need to understand the logic behind this strategy. The edge here comes from how bookmakers price card markets in play. Their model is largely time-based. As time passes without a card, the probability of hitting higher card lines naturally reduces, so the odds increase. That's the mathematical side of it. But football doesn't always behave in a purely mathematical way. Cards are not just evenly distributed across 90 minutes. They often come in clusters, and more importantly, they are driven by emotion. Things like frustration, bad tackles, arguments, tactical fouls, and big moments in the match can suddenly trigger a spike in cards. So what we're really doing here is taking advantage of the gap between those two things. The bookmaker model assumes that no cards means a calmer game, but in reality, the tension can still be building, and when it finally spills over, multiple cards can come quickly. Once you understand that, the execution becomes much more straightforward, and to take this a step further, it's important to understand why cards tend to come in clusters, because this is what really drives the strategy. Cards are rarely isolated events. They're usually the result of a build-up, a series of fouls, small confrontations, players getting frustrated, the referee having to step in more frequently. And what often happens is the referee tries to manage the game early on without showing cards. They'll give warnings, have conversations, try to calm things down, but that only works up to a point, because once a certain threshold is crossed, the next foul often results in a card, and then very quickly that can lead to another and another, especially if one team feels hard done by or if the game starts to lose control. So what might look like a calm match on the surface is actually a match where the tension is quietly building underneath. And when that tension finally turns into cards, it rarely stops at just one. That's exactly the behavior we're trying to take advantage of. Okay, so let's start with phase 1. Phase 1 is all about identifying the right matches before kickoff. This is absolutely crucial because not every match is suitable for this strategy. You're looking for games that already have a strong card profile. Now, there are two ways you can do this. The first is manually. You can look at referee statistics, team behavior, and the nature of the match. There are websites like Odd Alerts and Footy Stats where you can see referee averages for yellow and red cards. Ideally, you want referees who average at least 3.5 cards per match. 4 or above is even better. But it's not just about the referee, the match itself matters. You want games with something on the line. Derbies, rivalries, relegation battles, and high-pressure matches are all ideal. These are the types of games where players are more likely to react emotionally, and that's what drives cards. The second option is to use the Statto app. You can use the fouls and cards prompts to generate a short list of matches where the data already suggests high card potential. So instead of manually filtering through fixtures, you can let the artificial intelligence highlight the best opportunities for you. From there, you simply monitor those matches and wait for the right situation. When I first started out, I used to ignore this completely. I just bet cards based on gut feeling or random matches without thinking about the referee or the match context. And the results were inconsistent at best, and to be honest, I gave up betting on cards altogether. It was only when I started being selective that things improved. Now that brings us into phase 2. Phase 2 is the first 20 minutes. This is where the strategy really begins. Now the key rule here is very simple. If there is a card in the first 20 minutes, it's a no bet. You move on. That's it. Because once a card has been shown, the price has already adjusted. The edge is gone. But if the match reaches around 15 to 20 minutes with 0 cards, now things get interesting. This is where the market starts to drift. And this is where most bettors make the wrong assumption. They see no cards and think the game must be calm. But what we're looking for is something very specific. We're looking for matches where there are signs of tension, but no cards yet. For example, you might see multiple fouls, players arguing, late challenges, or the referee giving warnings without showing a card. That's exactly the type of situation we want, because the tension is there. It just hasn't been converted into cards yet. And this is where patience is critical. This is not a strategy where you rush in. You are waiting for the market to give you a better price. That leads us into phase 3. Phase 3 is the entry point. At this stage, you are backing the overcards market, but at a significantly better price than the starting price. For example, let's say before kickoff the line was over 3.5 cards at odds of 1.8. If the match reaches 20 minutes with 0 cards, that price might now be around 2.3 or higher, so you're getting a much bigger return for essentially the same underlying match conditions. That's the whole point of the strategy. We're not betting because the match has been quiet. We're betting because the price has become too big relative to the true nature of the game. Out of curiosity actually, how many times have you seen a match go 20 minutes without a card, only for 2 or 3 cards to come shortly after? That's exactly what we're trying to capture here. By the way, if you like videos like this and want to see more on this subject, remember to smash the like button. And while you're there, you should hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss a system or strategy video. We also now have a Telegram channel where we share daily free predictions from Statto. The link is in the description so you can join that too. Anyway, this brings us into Phase 4. Phase 4 is about reading the game state properly. This is where discipline comes in, because not every match with 0 cards after 20 minutes is a good bet. You still need to see the right signals. You want to see fouls building up, you want to see physical challenges, you want to see players reacting, you want to see the referee actively managing the game even if they haven't shown a card yet. What you don't want is a passive match. If the game is slow, clean, and lacking intensity, then there's no reason to expect a sudden spike in cards. And that's where most people go wrong. They see the price drift and assume it must be value. But without the underlying tension, there's no edge. This is something I learned the hard way. There were plenty of times where I entered purely because the odds looked big, without properly watching the match. And more often than not, those bets didn't play out. The best results always come when the data and the eye test line up. And finally, Phase 5. Phase 5 is all about discipline and consistency. This is not a strategy you apply to every match. Most games won't qualify, and that's exactly how it should be. The edge comes from being selective, only taking the situations where everything lines up. Referee profile, match importance, early tension, no cards, and inflated price. Because when those factors come together, you're getting a price that doesn't fully reflect what's likely to happen next. And like I said earlier guys, this is where using the Statto app can make a big difference. Instead of spending hours researching referee stats and match profiles yourself, you can use the artificial intelligence to generate a short list of matches with strong card potential. Then you simply apply the timing and in-play filters we've discussed. If you want to check that out, click the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen. It's a serious upgrade for anyone looking to approach football betting in a more structured and professional way. Now before we wrap up, it's important to briefly touch on how you actually approach this from a staking point of view, because this is where consistency comes from. This is not a strategy where you increase your stake just because the odds have drifted. The higher price is already your edge, so you want to keep your staking consistent. For most bettors, a simple 1-unit approach works best. Each time the setup appears, you place the same stake, regardless of whether the odds are 2.0 or 3.0. What you don't want to do is chase bigger returns by increasing your stake just because the price looks attractive. That's how variance starts to work against you. Another important point is understanding that not every match will land. Even with the right setup, sometimes the game never boils over, and that's completely normal. We're playing the probabilities over a large number of matches, not relying on any single result, so the focus should always be on executing the system correctly, not the outcome of one individual bet. Now, there are a few common mistakes that are worth pointing out here, because this is where a lot of bettors lose their edge with this type of strategy. The first one is entering purely because the price has drifted. A bigger price doesn't automatically mean value. If the game is slow, clean, and lacking intensity, then there's no reason to expect cards to suddenly appear. You still need that underlying tension. The second mistake is ignoring the referee completely. Some referees simply don't give cards easily. They'll let more challenges go, they'll manage the game differently, and that changes everything. So if the referee profile doesn't support it, the setup becomes much weaker. Another one is entering too early. This is a patience-based strategy. If you jump in after 10 minutes just because there are no cards, you're not getting the benefit of the price movement. You need to let the market drift first. And finally, this is a big one. Forcing bets. Just because you've shortlisted a match doesn't mean you have to act on it. If the tension isn't there, if the signals aren't right, you simply leave it. The edge comes from selectivity, not activity. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you smash the like button to support us. Click the subscribe button if you want to see more of us, and turn notifications on so you get the videos as soon as they come out. Don't forget to join our Telegram channel for free daily predictions from Statto 2. And there's another video on the screen right now that you'll definitely want to watch next. This system has been working very well for some of our members, and I strongly suggest you give it a go. I'll see you over there.